Welcome to the Voice of Reason Sports Podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the show, leave a comment, and click that like button.
Backup quarterback is?
He don't know.
We've been testing Phil's knowledge of his team, yo. We got questions about that.
I'll ask Marvelous. He'll tell me.
All right, y'all. Thanks for joining us for another edition of the Voice of Reason Sports Podcast. This is the Marvelous One, back at it again with Don Philosophical, and we have our guest on the show, Dell, representing Cowboys Nation. What's good with you, Dell?
What up, fellas? What's going on? Thanks for having me back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are resident, Cowboys expert, so I wouldn't necessarily call you an expert. Let me take that back.
What? I'm about to show y'all something today.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Yes,
man.
sir. Yeah. So we're gonna do this new edition where we're gonna, leading up to the draft, we're gonna have guests on to talk about their teams, give us some ideas of what their team needs are and what they expect their teams to do in the draft coming up April 27th. So, next 4 weeks, check us out. So this week we got Dell, but we're going to give you some insight on what we think our team's going to do. But first, before we get into that, we got to talk about these championship games, the NCAA women's game and the men's game. And man, that women's game, that game was exciting, yo. I was into it, yo. I must say, look, right now, I'm telling the WNBA, don't mess this up. You got your Magic versus Larry Bird moment. Make it happen. Get them in the WNBA. I don't care. Go to the sheet, do the sealed cold envelope or whatever that David Stern must have did back in the 80s to get Patrick Ewing in New York. I don't care. Figure it out. Get these ladies, Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, get them to a team that I'm going to follow in the WNBA, because right now you have your moment. Don't mess this up, WNBA. But that game was exciting, man. What you guys started at, man?
Oh, I first want to say I think the Final Four was exciting. Them, Iowa beating South Carolina, and then
Absolutely.
LSU beating Virginia Tech. Man, Virginia Tech, what a season they had. Also, I thought it was a good game. I thought, I didn't think Caitlin Clark first was going to beat South Carolina like that, dropping 40 like that, and then I believe she dropped 40 again against
41.
against LSU. Yeah, 41.
Yep.
Against
41.
LSU. I figured they weren't going to beat LSU. LSU was just a different monster.
Right.
Like you said, man, I think this was a great game. I feel like we had mentioned before the show that Caitlin Clark is probably going to stay in college. I think the WNBA should be calling her, encouraging her to come to the WNBA ASAP.
Right.
Because that creates a lot of parity for them, something the WNBA needs. Other than that, this is probably the most exciting women's tournament outside of South Carolina, and usually see UConn in there every year. I think this is exciting for the game, exciting for the women.
But didn't it look like this game had a lot more character and personality that you normally don't see from these women's games? You saw the attitudes, you saw taunting, you saw big plays and staring down their opponent. Like that's the stuff that gets you in.
I like the fact that they had 4 quarters. So it felt like a real game. Unlike the no disrespect to the men's,
Right.
but 4 quarters make sense.
Yep.
You saw a real basketball game. You seen teams lose momentum and things of that nature. You seen teams try to hustle and make a comeback, and the refs let them play. I mean, ain't no tic-tac fouls. They get up off the ground. Nope, that's not a charge. Hey, you got to box out. And I just appreciate, but there were a couple of tight calls, but I think for the overall performance and the stage that it was on, I was very impressed, especially from women's basketball, because as you can see, the pros are having a problem, generating that crowd support. And I think the NCAA, like you said, Marv, they got to get this right, because now they got lightning in the bottle, and how do you build off of that momentum?
Right.
I was going to add, I think the NCAA also did a good job of really putting their stars out there and putting the coaches out there, letting people know who these women are. So I think that was a good look too.
Right. And I like the flair of the LSU coach, right? With the different
Yeah.
outfits, just anything, man. You got to draw some attention to yourself, man.
So my take on it was, I just think that we're not used to seeing that level of greatness on the female level. I mean, that she was hitting all kind of 3-pointers from all different kind of angles in people's faces. She was creating her own shots. Like I said, she was coming off picks like Steph Curry. I'm not used to seeing that level of greatness on a female level. Like anybody scoring 40 points in the female basketball game is just going to be great. And she did it twice, and almost did it 3 times in the third game. I mean, she still scored 30, but we're just not used to seeing that level of greatness, and then the rivalry too.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's like that rivalry was kind of exciting to watch because they really don't like each other. I mean,
right.
You know what I'm saying? You can tell that,
Two other things. The disrespect to South Carolina.
Yeah.
Waving off the young lady at the 3-point
they wouldn't
line.
even check her.
Yeah, hey.
That was funny though.
You got no bullets in that gun. Go ahead, fire away. No bullets. Let us shoot.
Literally stood 10 feet away from her, like, nah, I ain't worried about you.
Yeah.
I've seen that gun before. You can't shoot.
Shoot it if you want to.
It carries over to the championship game because LSU didn't like it. Because they was like, well, she ain't gonna disrespect us. And so you had Jasmine Carson for LSU say, okay, you gonna leave me open? 3, she hit 5 in a row. They were ready for it, man. So gotta love that competition. You gotta love the strategy between the different coaches. All of that stuff matters in this game. And one other point I'm gonna make about Caitlin Clark, and we're gonna move on to the men's game. But let's not forget, she didn't just score 41 points. She also had double digits in assists. One game she had a triple-double. So skill level is there, not just as a shooter, as an all-around.
She was like 80% of the offense.
Yes.
Yes.
Her style of game just drew a lot of attention. So I'll be watching. Don't mess this up, WNBA. Now moving on to the men's game. So, San Diego State and UConn, man. I mean, that was a good game, man. It was a good, hard-fought game. 2 really good defensive teams were battling it out. I mean, it kind of got out of hand after a while, but it was a tough game at first. They were struggling to score, but I think there was some good defense that was being played. Don, you're shaking your head. What's going on, man?
UConn was too deep.
Big.
They was too big. I mean, they was big on the starting 5 and they big on the bench. Their depth overwhelmed them. I think that it showed in the late. And then here's the part that kind of got me frustrated is I know what you live by the 3, die by the 3, but you still got to push that rock and you got to force that guy to run that floor. I don't think they forced it. They tried to run too many set offenses and they didn't do anything unconventional, to get those big men in foul trouble and grab the rebound, but everybody box out and then run the floor. They didn't do that. And then, you just let those big men just pound on you. You're going to get in trouble real early.
It had too much of like you said, too much of an inside presence. I mean, Sanago on the inside, Hawkins on the outside hitting threes and jumpers. It kind of panned out how I thought it would because San Diego State was actually getting dominated that last game. That last round before they came back and made an amazing comeback in the second half and made the last second shot to win the game. So I kind of felt like they were lucky to beat it in the first.
Facts, because FAU gave them all that they can handle, and
all
that wing on the player shot, I was like, man, I said, I hope they realize they're not supposed to be here and they live up to the moment. They tried to, but I think they just got such a late start, and then by Connecticut running that slow offense, and they controlled the glass on both sides.
I think FAU is probably mad at me for picking them in that game because I picked against them all tournament long and they won every game until I picked them. Oh, tough, Phil.
UConn, they were dominating throughout the tournament. I didn't realize how good they were because I had them out the second round. So shout out to them. I saw the picture they had out with Kemba Walker, Ray Allen, Rip Hamilton kind of coming out showing their support. That was really cool. But it was a good game, man. They really stifled San Diego State defensively, man. They just put the paws on them. And I looked, I had glanced over and I was like, man, they have about 16 already. So I was just like,
yeah,
this is it. This is it right here. So I thought San Diego State would have a little small chance. I kind of wanted FAU to go there because it would be the underdog, and I knew they wouldn't be Connecticut, but it'd be something different. But shout out to them, good game, and
Well, Phil,
they had that one little run. They had that one little run at the end where I thought they were kind of about to make it a game. Like 5 or 6. I said, okay, they might make this a game. This might be and then Connecticut just put it on for the rest of the game.
Yeah. And I was gonna say, Phil, another shout out, man. Give a shout out to the Hurley family. That's Danny Hurley, the coach at UConn.
I know. And I thought this year he was gonna leave UConn to go somewhere else. I didn't think he would pull a stunt and win a national championship. I think his brother coaches at
Arizona State.
Yep. So shout out to the Hurley family for that. I mean, they're probably having a good old time now celebrating.
Yeah.
But UConn, man, has got a great tradition as far as the women's side, as far as coaching tradition from I forgot the coach's name. Sorry. Calhoun, yeah, Jim Calhoun winning his titles.
Kevin Ollie, he won the title.
Yeah, he won a title. I will say that was a great tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great tournament. So definitely Hurley, shout out to him also, man. So
yeah, absolutely, man. So so the season is over with for college basketball, man. So it's time to transition over to NBA basketball, baby. It's almost playoff time and stupid play-in time. You know, I hate the play-in game.
I love the play-in.
No, I hate that thing.
Man.
The
love
dumbest
the play-in.
You play 82 games and we need an extra 2 to determine who makes the playoffs. It's like, what?
Possible 3.
What's wrong with the head-to-head? Who has the better division record and conference record? Those are the tiebreakers. Why do we need a play-in game?
So go ahead and talk about the Pelicans.
That's what it is, a money grab for NBA.
And it's to stop the tanking.
Yeah, I don't think it's working. It's not working. Now they got low management. It's not working. They got low management.
Not after this new CBA, but we'll talk about this next show. Continue.
But that's the funny thing, right? I heard, and I'm gonna have to look this up. I understand that now they're gonna put a number of games.
It's a quota.
Well, no, you have to play in so many games to be considered for end of season awards.
Yes, there's a quota. Yes.
Okay.
So I heard they implemented that. Now, if that eliminates load management, I don't know.
This is something the NBA needs. This is something the NBA needs. This is definitely something the NBA needs.
Yeah, I like that.
They need this.
You can't win MVP unless you play 65 games.
It should be all. It should be all the awards.
Yeah,
Rookie of the year, MVP.
Okay,
first team, second team.
Yeah,
they should have a certain scale.
Maybe you're stealing from the fans, because if I buy a ticket, I'm buying a ticket for me and my son and daughter to come there and probably see, Steph Curry, the greatest shooter out there, and watch my Golden State Warriors win another championship. And guess what? You doing load management that night.
Maybe incentivize, the players a little bit more if they win MVP.
You get $400 million. There ain't no more incentives. You play 65 games, you can win.
Well, wait a minute. Who's incentivizing? Is that in their contract or is that from the NBA?
No, that's their contract. I mean, Steph Curry is what, $400 million?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm saying if they win MVP, you get.
No, that's part of the CBA. New CBA just got passed.
Oh, really? That? Okay. What is?
If you win MVP. Having a quota in order to be eligible for certain awards.
That's what I heard. Okay. Yeah, you can't win any end of season awards unless you play 65 games.
Yeah,
at least that's
why. And also the All-Star game as well.
Oh, is that the All-Star game?
Oh, the All-Star game as well too.
So like I said, I'll look through it, but
I got to look it up too.
But they're gonna have to revamp that All-Star game.
I don't know how to. I don't know the specifics, but yeah, I like to see something like that. To hold the players accountable and force them to play, because but I still don't think it's going to. I mean, load management still going to be there because injuries still happen. They're still injured
Yeah.
during the season, and
Yeah.
it's just a matter of
but you
whether
know
or not
what though? But you know what though, Mar? They're injured. They're doing it even when they're not injured. It's like
What?
rest, and they're not hurt.
It is,
You know what
but
I'm saying?
but no,
It's ridiculous.
no. Check this out. Like, I know you're a Kobe fan. Kobe told you he played injured many a games because he always thought about that fan that came travel from wherever to come see him pay a lot of money. He said, I mean, his wife would tell this story that he would suit up anyway, whatever nagging injury he had, he would play for the fans.
So, in your opinion, what's changed? What's changed from that point to now?
The new generation.
Well, it's not just the new generation. I don't think it's smart to play injured. I just don't. I mean, and I know you guys may disagree, but you can make your injury worse.
If it hurts you, if it helps your team, possibly.
You could be you. Let's look at Baker Mayfield for example, and I'll switch it up to football.
That's a bad example.
No, just hear me out. Hear me out. His last season in Cleveland,
okay,
he made his contract situation worse by playing injured with a bad shoulder. Now, yeah, he was trying to tough it out and do the right thing for his team and all of that foolishness. Dude, if you injured, don't play. Jameis Winston playing with a broken bone in his back. Like,
yeah, Lamar Jackson, that's true.
That's true. Sit that out heel, man, because you're shortening your career. I swear that this is why AI didn't have a long career, because he played with a lot of injuries. It's like, dude, let that thing heal.
Okay, so let's hold on. But here's the thing. Let's transition to talk about your team, because you got a guy. Is he hurt? Is he not hurt? Because right now, I don't even think you're going to make the play-in. The game that you despise.
Yeah, I don't think Pelicans making the play-in either.
Dude, there's only 16 teams, and 10 of them make the play-in. We're making the play-in. 2 of them had already been eliminated. We in the play-in.
Wait a minute, you guys are on a losing streak, though, right?
No, we're on a winning streak, Phil. We're 7-3 in our last 10, with the 8 seed right now. 10 teams, the 7th, 8th, and 10th team makes the play-in.
Hold on. Let's be real. You play Sacramento tonight.
Yeah.
You play Memphis tomorrow. Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then on the 7th, you play New York, and then you end the season out with Minnesota.
They're saying if the playoffs started today, you guys would play the Lakers in the play-in game.
Yeah. So
they are so. Did you hold on? I'm gonna say this one more time, because y'all not gonna brush over this. You play the Kings, you play the Grizzlies, back to back, and then you jump into New York. The New York winning Knicks. They're winning, and then you got Minnesota. I'll pause.
Pause, please, because the team that's in the 11th spot is 4 games behind us. So, and what? There's 5 games left.
Yeah, you had to lose all. Yeah.
You got to lose them all. That's my point.
And it's
a participation. It's a participation trophy to make the play-in game. Because 16 teams. Listen, hear me out. 16 teams are in the conference. 10 of them make the playoffs. 3 have already been eliminated. The Blazers, the Spurs, and Rockets have already been eliminated. There's 2 other teams to compete with, and that's the Jazz and the Mavericks, and they're already 3-4 games behind us. We literally have to lose every game.
So what would you do? Change it back to 8 teams to make the playoffs, Marv? Is that what you're
yes.
Yes,
absolutely.
No playing.
No playing. Okay. The playoffs is happening right now with the teams competing to make the
play-in. The play-in relates to real hoopers and street ball. You know, I don't think so. Yes. Well, then again, you gotta play street ball in order to understand that. So that vote don't count.
There you go. Try to crap all Phil, man. Phil,
Phil,
if I was you, I wouldn't take that.
Oh man!
But in all honesty, I mean, you see.
I wonder what Lamar Jackson's playing.
The overseas guys. They've been doing the play-in thing and then all of a sudden you see they match. They have a top your last 2 minutes. They have a max score in order to end the game. So those are some of the nuances that are coming. You know, that I think they should add to the play-in game just to make it more fan friendly. You have to make this thing fun for the fans. If baseball have not shown you that you will change with the times, or you will lose money, then I don't know what we're talking about.
But no one asked for a play-in game.
Huh?
Nope.
No one asked for a play-in game.
Nobody
In fact,
asked
what
for it.
that's called? That's called giving the fans what they want before they ask for it.
The fans
What's
didn't
wrong
ask
with
for
that?
it.
we didn't. The fans
That's
didn't ask
called
for it.
business. It's called business.
All the fans want to see is when they come to a game to see the stars. That's
Yes,
it.
and guess
That's
what?
it.
That's it.
And listen, and Marv is going to want that play in because he's not going to make the play off.
But they're
I would
gonna
be-
charge. What average fan can go to a
No.
play-in game?
If
Can go to a play-in game during the week.
I don't want if we the 9th seed, I don't want to be in the playoffs.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
No,
If
why
we
would
ain't
you wanna be
earned
in the
it.
playoffs?
You want to see Zion out there because Zion
No.
right now ain't playing.
Have you seen Zion? Zion been eating good.
Oh yeah,
He a big
Yeah,
boy.
He a big boy right now.
Hey,
He
whoever
been
his
eating good.
dietitian is need to be fired. His dietitian needs to be fired.
Zion has been eating good, but
His
I mean,
strength and conditioning coach needs to be fired.
but I know he's working out with the team. There's the potential that he could come back. They need his offense.
He's working out with the chef. He ain't working out
but
without pause.
but anyway, I mean, what you need to be worried about is your 5-5 Golden State Warriors in their last 10 games. Whether or not they're going to be playing in the playing.
Defending world champs. Can
No.
you please complete the sentence?
5-5,
Defending
one game
world
losing
champs.
streak.
Defending world champs. Put some respect on my name, man.
They're one
Defending world champs.
one
Thank you.
game ahead of the Pelicans and the Lakers.
So
right now for the 6th spot.
So once again, Adele, you being our guest, I'm gonna show you quick math. So if you go through drive-through and you're $1 short, that little kid is gonna show you the significance of the number 1. I'll pause.
And Daryl, keep in mind, you're $1 short and you're still ordering off the menu. So now you're $6 short.
Hey, the world
they got
champ.
6 more games.
I think the Warriors can probably get a little bit of a pass. I mean, if they lose in the first round of the playoffs, I mean, they've had injuries. Wiggins.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Wiggins is back. Pause.
Yeah, but it's a little too late.
But
Steph Curry's been hurt. He's getting older. Klay Thompson.
Will it be okay for them
Green.
losing a play-in game? Because that's look like where they're headed.
Well, look, last year they came out of nowhere to win the whole thing.
Right now, if it stayed the
that.
same, they play in Sacramento the first round.
If it stays the same, but I mean, right now, it's
to be honest with you, I just saw Sacramento lose to the Spurs.
Yeah.
Thank you. There are no real number 1s in the West.
But they're beating my Pelicans right now. They got about 30. Yeah, they're playing in New Orleans. Sacramento got them right now.
You can take this L and write this down along with tomorrow's.
All right, man. We ain't got to talk too much about that.
But I'm gonna tell you like this. I think the Warriors gonna make it. I'd rather see them play that, and everybody got to decide. Here's this thing. It's not so much as the play-in, but who do you want to play after the play-in is significant because you can say what you want. But nobody want to bump and grind with them Phoenix Suns because you don't know what you're gonna get with Kevin Durant. I mean, that's a new dynamic team, and I think Durant can stay healthy through the first round. Now, as the game goes on, yes, he'll wear and tear, and now you're gonna see that durability and the lack of depth. But I think that for the first round, nobody wants to see Phoenix.
Well, I can tell you what I predict is going to happen. I predict the Lakers are going to find themselves in that 5th seed playing the Phoenix Suns.
I don't think they want to be in that 5th seed.
Nobody wants to be in. And me being Golden State, I'm going to tell you, I don't want to be in that seed.
Well, is it going to be either you or the Lakers? Because right now the Clippers are falling. And the Clippers are right now in that 5th seed.
The Clippers, yeah.
The Clippers are in that 5th seed and they're falling. They're not playing well.
They falling on purpose. They know what they're doing.
Well, they may be. Maybe the Warriors and the Clippers are falling on purpose to get out of that.
I think
spot.
the Lakers want to stay in that 7th seed.
Well, you got to play a play-in game. You're going to have to play an extra game.
Yeah, they can beat the Pelicans though.
I think they can beat the play. I think they can beat the play-in game. But I'm just saying, everybody got to watch that first round. That first round matchup. I mean, I'd rather play Denver because Denver doesn't scare nobody. That's just a fact. And not only that, the Kings don't scare nobody either. Now the Grizzlies gonna play tough because they have an attitude and they're young and they too young to know better. And sometimes in the first round they can be like, real venomous, and that first sting can, take you out. But I
Yeah,
think
That would be crazy if Memphis Grizzlies won it all.
yeah. Well,
Oh
go
boy.
figure. Memphis Grizzlies are tied with Portland right now, and Portland's sitting everybody. So
Yeah.
it's hard to figure the NBA out. To be honest with you,
the West is a wild, wild West right now.
it's so wild, man.
Well, who do you guys think going to win MVP?
I think it's going to. I personally think it's going to be Embiid because
It should be.
simple fact. Jokic already won it twice in a row, and Embiid has been playing the last few games, and Jokic has been out. So I think he's going to lose just based on those two factors by itself.
So I think it's going to be for two reasons. One, what you just said, Del, but also I think the writers trying to set a precedence. They don't want to change the history about that, because it's only like two players that actually, receive you now. I mean, you received three MVP back to back to back like that. So I don't think the writers really want the Joker, and the Joker's not dominating in the playoffs. He's barely getting out of these first and second rounds. So, and he's never been to a championship. So,
But has Embiid been dominating playoffs?
oh,
No.
so
No.
but I think but here's the thing. I think Embiid is a more dominating player, and I think it's the fear factor. I don't fear the Joker, but I fear Embiid.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, here's the thing. I think I think Embiid deserves it, but I think Jokic will win it. Why? Because his team is number one in the West. His team is number one. They've been dominant all season. And hell, Embiid wasn't even voted as a starter in the All-Star game. So he's just not getting the respect that he deserves. So I think it's only between them two. Nobody else is even being considered for this.
They trying to hype up Giannis, but I think Giannis let too much.
It's too late.
He let these guys get too much momentum right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, he just doesn't have the numbers and the attention. So,
well, this is the thing about Joker. Joker gets the whole team involved.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He has more of an all-around game.
Yes.
That's why he ends up edging over Embiid, because Embiid is just a scorer / rebounder. And even his rebounder, he's not as dominant as a rebounder as he should be.
Embiid is defensive player of the year.
Could be.
Okay.
But he's not going to be MVP. He ain't putting up triple doubles like this point center is. Because, I mean, this dude he's a point center. He is literally redefining the position.
Right. Embiid is never going to give you double-digit assists.
But did you see Joker and Embiid head-to-head? It wasn't close.
I don't care.
As far as what?
Matchups. Embiid gave him that business.
Oh, when they played each other.
Yeah. All I know is Embiid is third in the Eastern Conference, and Joker is number one in the Western Conference. And I think that plays a part into the voting. It might be close. He's not going to be a unanimous MVP winner, but it's going to be close, and I think Joker's going to get it.
I mean, being behind Boston.
Joker is averaging 25, 10, and 10.
Yeah.
That's
right. That's what I'm saying.
That's serious.
That all-around game is hard to ignore. It's just like when Westbrook won it. They finally gave it to Westbrook. He was giving you the all-around game.
Westbrook
Joel Embiid is not it. Joel Embiid is not even leading the league in rebounding.
Triple-double?
Did he win MVP that year?
He did.
Westbrook,
he did.
Yeah, he averaged a triple-double.
I remember he averaged a triple-double. Okay.
Like 30 points.
Yeah, Embiid's not even leading the league in rebounds.
Yeah, you got to lead the league in something.
Right.
He leads the league in points. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. His rebound, what he averaging? About 8 rebounds a game?
Yeah, that's not good enough.
But look what he does on the defensive end.
Yeah, Joel Embiid. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, you guys are right. I mean, Russell Westbrook, I forgot all about it. I guess that's how much I like Russell Westbrook. He won MVP in 2016,
and 2017.
Joker, he averaging,
yeah, I know, I remember that, but I didn't think anybody respected it. Because
Joker's number 2 in rebounds.
They were setting up everything for him to get the rebounds. Would you say Joker's number 2 in rebounds?
Yeah. Yeah, he's absolutely. Yeah.
But Joker's not a defensive stopper. He's not stopping nobody in that lane like Embiid is. So Embiid controls technically 2 sides of the floor. offensive and defensive. And that's one of the things that Michael Jordan did. I know we're not gonna talk about that.
Oh boy,
But
here
when
we
you
go.
control two sides of the floor,
Yeah, but Joker
you
is
control the
controlling.
game.
Joker is
Did you
controlling the
not control
assist
the
part
game?
of it.
If you're grabbing rebounds on one end and blocks and then scoring and dominate in the paint and from threes, you controlling the game.
Wait, you mean Michael Jordan was scoring and Scottie Pippen was playing defense?
But Joker is doing that.
Michael Jordan got Defensive Player of the Year. Stop playing.
Joker is doing that. Joker is number 2 in rebounds and number 4 in assists.
Yeah, but he's talking about defense.
I'm talking about defense.
Defensive rebounds.
What about blocks though?
No, he's not in that. He's not that type of player.
He's nowhere near. He's not that guy.
I mean,
I'm saying, when you're that tall, you could fall into a block.
No, not really.
You
not
can.
Really. Not
you can.
Really.
He barely got to jump. I mean, you
can't jump.
You got to understand where they credit you.
He's not playing that off the ball defender like you want, Dell. He's not that guy.
Yeah, Joker is not even averaging 1 block a game.
And it's the NBA, dude. I mean, we saw Allen Iverson get the ball over Shaq. So they know how to get the ball over big dudes, and that's a big athletic dude compared to Joker, who ain't athletic.
Well, how many blocks is Embiid averaging?
Embiid is averaging
2.5
a game. No, I doubt.
You doubt that?
He's 6 in the league. He's 6 in the league in blocks.
Okay. Probably 1.5.
Let me see. I'm trying to look now. Yeah, he's averaging like 2.
Okay.
Almost 2? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
2.
I wasn't expecting that. When I
watch I figured it was about 2.
I don't see him blocking a lot of shots.
Well, I mean, he's big and athletic.
He's big and athletic.
Yeah, he dominates.
And not only is he blocking shots, he's altering shots as well.
Right.
Well, yeah, okay. That's true.
Yeah, right. So, okay. All right, guys. Let's talk draft, man. That's why we got Dell on the show, man, to give us some insight on this Cowboys and what are your team needs, man? And then tell us what you think they're going to draft, who they're going to draft.
Okay. So, I think the needs, of course, are on the offensive side, right? You got a line that's kind of average, middle of the pack. The defense, even though, okay, I'm just gonna say on offense real quick. On offense, they need a tight end because we lost our starting tight end. He went to the Texans, got paid too.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he went to Texas.
Schultz went to the Texans.
Yep,
got paid with them. We need a receiver. Need some receivers. And of course, since there's no Zeke, we're gonna have to fill that backfield back up. So that's what we need on offense. On defense, we're great defense, and I think adding Gilmore shores up that defensive backfield. But I still think we need a safety. I still think we need one good safety to really put that stamp on the number 1 defense in the league. If we get a good safety, that defense is gonna be incredible.
I think Don disagreed, man. He already said y'all need everything.
Yeah, they need
everything. Hey, Dale,
you don't need everything.
You need a kicker.
You need everything.
That I predicted, by the way.
But I'm gonna be nice to you, Dale, because I like Dale. I'm gonna throw you a bone, Dale.
Come on, let's go.
I agree with your analysis all the way up to the point where you say you need a safety. I think you need to stop the bleeding, and the bleeding is in your interior defense. You could not stop the run at all. So I think you need to beef up that interior defense. I think you solid on the corners. I think you have the edge pass rusher.
Got the linebackers.
But I think that interior defense needs to stop that run.
Yep.
In order for that corners to really mean something, because you can be a great corner, and Dion's the only one that I know to this day that can cover somebody for 10 seconds.
Or shut down an entire side of a field.
Yeah. So if you really, I think Dallas right now, and y'all picking at 26. So I think y'all looking at the inside, interior defense like linebacker, someone that can actually give you that load that you need up the middle and help fill that gap, because y'all was getting trampled. I mean, like, y'all could not stop the run.
Yes, absolutely. Dallas does not believe in beef in the middle. I agree, and I've been arguing with them for years, arguing with fans alike. We need some beef in the middle. We never get that beef in the middle, ever. Pause. But rumor has it, if this happens, I will be very happy with it. That Bijan Robinson may be available at the 26th pick. And that's the running back for Texas. If anybody doesn't know,
I think they can get a running back later. I don't think running back.
So there you go, Mr. Jerry Jones. And we just talked about what you need, and you went away from everything, Mr. Jerry Jones. Mr. Jerry Jones, come on, man. I'm gone. I'm taking the ball.
Football is about special players, not necessarily what you need.
See, Don. See,
you need a quarterback too.
See, Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, right there, Dad. We need this. Jerry Jones. Man, Johnny Football looks good. Let's get Johnny Football. Yeah.
Let me ask y'all this.
Man, I just gave you credit, Dale.
Look. I'm saying, when a special player falls to you, you have to take that special player, and he is a special player.
At 26?
Well, you guys got to be a special team, though.
What was that?
Y'all got to be a special team. Y'all don't have the players to be making these type of picks. To be making these type of picks.
I will once again remind y'all, we were 12-5.
Dale, he just gave you the Caitlin Clark wave off, yo.
And you guys, it seems like you guys went older on defense. You guys went older on defense. Really old on defense.
Older on defense? How we older on defense? Our number one player is the third year in the league.
Stephon Gilmore,
fourth year in the league. How you
gonna have Stephon Gilmore on the other side? He's 32 years old, 33 years old.
Gilmore on the other side, but he's still playing at a high level.
Yeah, veteran leadership.
That's veteran leadership. All the rest of our team is
y'all can't stop the run. We can't stop the run.
So look, wait, hold on. In the playoffs, how many y'all did Christian McCaffrey had? I don't remember them running all over us. Do any of you? In the playoffs,
I know they won.
They had a rookie quarterback.
And that's a running team. They did not run all over us. We did not get killed because they were running on us. We got killed because we couldn't score.
That's because Dak was throwing interceptions.
Because we couldn't score, and we were prepared to stop the run, which San Francisco was like the number 2 running team in the league.
We stopped it. So Dale. So you got the 26th pick in the draft. Who do you take, man? Or what position do you take?
My position that I would take, if I could, if there was somebody available, but I don't see anybody available right there, I'll probably trade down if that's what I want to get. But I want a safety. Dallas has disrespected safeties for the longest time. We always picking up some free agent, average, run of the mill.
I would probably move up to get a safety.
I would like to get it, but
they can move up and get a safety.
But if Bijan Robinson falls down to 26,
so
I'm scooping them.
What about Pollard? Pollard?
Well, we don't know if we don't know how soon he's coming back.
When is he coming back? Exactly.
So I get your point. So the 26th pick, you're going to take the best player available.
But I think y'all looking for the inside. Kalicha Kanchi from Pittsburgh. Inside. Y'all need inside defense, man. I'm telling you.
Y'all need to shore up your offensive line too.
You need somebody to go in the trenches.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. Round 2.
That's what I was about to say.
That's round 1. That's round 1.
No, I'm saying if we get Bijan Robinson from now round 1, we could come back and we could get that nose tackle from Baylor. Ika.
Yeah, because you got the 58 pick in the second round.
Yeah. And I think we could come back and get that nose tackle there in the second round. We don't necessarily have to spend a first round pick because I don't really see. Well, there's some. I don't know if anybody like that first round dominating type like Aaron Donald or something like that is going to be there at 26.
I just told you, Kalichi Kansi from Pittsburgh.
I don't think somebody.
He's going to be there, and if he's there, you need to grab him.
Defensive tackles at a premium. Teams get desperate over defensive tackles.
That's what I'm saying.
So I think he'll be gone way before 26.
If he's that good, he's not falling to 26. I can't see it.
Yeah, because I'm hoping he falls at 29. Because we need a DT.
It's only two. It's only two premium defensive tackles right now.
That's what we need.
Yeah,
We need
he's not
that.
falling that far. He's not falling that far.
I
Okay.
can't see
If
it.
anything,
You need that, not only the pressure on the edge to stop the run, you need that pressure up the middle too,
if
in order
anything,
to
Minnesota get
solidify
him
the
at
edge.
24. Minnesota get him at 24.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
hey man, that's Dale's prediction, man. I mean,
I think if
it
that
ain't
running back
smart,
is there,
but
look,
you know,
if Robinson is there,
there's one safety. There's one safety in there. I think he'll be gone before the Cowboys pick.
who is that?
they got all.
The kid from Clemson, Branch.
Yeah, I was just talking. I was just thinking about that defensive tackle from Clemson.
Oh, okay.
But he's definitely not going to be there. Yeah, he's definitely.
No.
But
You're talking about Brazil.
But I mean, you got all 7 picks, so you got an opportunity to try to fill in these gaps. With I mean, that could be a really good player that fell. The 3rd, 4th round. You can get some decent players.
Yeah.
In the 3rd, 4th round, may have had injuries in college or whatever.
Look, if we could get a game-changing defensive tackle, I would love it. I would
It's
love
only
it.
2 of them.
But I don't think. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think we're going to get that at 26.
Yeah.
Not at 26. So in that case, I would go with game changer and Robinson.
What about some offensive line? Offensive line help.
See, and that's the thing. The other teams they're picking before you, they're going to go offensive tackle. They're going.
That's true.
Everybody,
Okay.
they're going to go offensive tackle. You looking at Chicago? Chicago needs to protect them. They go offensive tackle. You got Tennessee. Tennessee's definitely with their 2nd pick in the 1st round. They're going offensive tackle. Who else are you looking at?
Commanders.
The Jets going at 13. They're definitely looking to go offensive tackle. They got to protect that line. You have a lot. Look at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh probably go offensive line as well. They have a lot of teams.
That's true.
Tampa Bay.
True.
Tampa Bay go offensive line. There are a lot of teams that need that offensive presence or need a wide receiver at those skilled positions. When you see that guy pop up, you better grab him, and not that running back that you just discussed.
I'll tell you what.
I'm telling you, hey, mark my words. Remember this: Robinson is going to be a star in the NFL.
Well, I tell you what, Dale. I sure hope
he shouldn't wear the star.
I sure hope y'all go get Robinson and let whatever defensive tackle fall to us because we need one at 29. So
Hey, no, we try to think on defensive tackles. We're not good at picking them. We pick 2nd round defensive tackles, 3rd round defensive tackles, and all of them are either backups or off the team right now.
Usually, you guys always go offense 1st round. Usually.
No, that's when Jerry Jones make the picks.
Yeah,
and Jerry's still making the picks. What do you mean?
Oh, Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons.
Yeah, Parsons.
Micah Parsons.
DeAndre Ware. DeMarcus Ware. We got some defensive.
That was a long time ago.
It was. That's what I got. I mean, if the player's there, I want that play. I want superstar playmakers. That's what I want. Playmakers. If we can't get that exact need that we need, I want.
Not at 26.
At 26?
Not at 26.
If that running back is there, he's that. That's him.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Dale because when you're picking that low in the 1st round, usually that's usually when you go for the best player available.
You can get a tight end at 26.
Defensive, but you can find a running back. You can find a running back.
No, you can find a running back.
But I think
made an interesting point.
It's about value. It's about value. If the top 2 defensive tackles are gone, you're gonna be looking at defensive tackles that are graded as 2nd round picks and 3rd round picks. And you don't
the running back that you're about to get, is he gonna be starting?
You're not even gonna give him a 2nd contract.
Is he going to be starting for the Cowboys?
He
might. Going to give him a 2nd contract.
Thank you. So bring in that.
Pollard is in his 5th season, going to his 5th season, and he's hurt. He's been hurt the last 2 seasons.
That can happen to Bijan Robinson.
2nd round.
I mean, he's a rookie though. He's going to be a rookie. We're going to have him for 5 years. Potential 5 years on a rookie.
Is that going to get y'all over the hump in the playoffs?
It'll get the ball out of Dak's hands. So we can run the ball more. It encourages us to run the ball more. Anything that encourages us to run the ball more, I'm for it.
Look, if at 29 and Anthony Richardson is available, we should get him.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get on you.
I think at 29 you should be looking at the best player available because trying to get a need picking that low in the 1st round, you're gonna be reaching. You're gonna be reaching.
No, you're not reaching with that.
I would rant if the Saints got Anthony Richardson. Oh my God, if the Saints got Anthony Richardson.
You would rant?
Oh yeah, I would rant.
Why
As
would you
much
rant about?
as much trash you talked about Anthony Richardson.
What do you mean? I ain't talking trash about him. I just said that C.J. Stroud is the number 1 overall pick.
You said Anthony Richardson is not ready. He's not in the NFL ready. He's gonna have to sit for a little while. You know, his teams
He will have to do that behind Derek Carr. What are you missing here? Derek Carr is the starter.
You might as well play Taysom Hill if that's the case.
They don't want to play him, so go get somebody like him. I agree. They should play him, but they don't want to play him. So okay, well, fine.
That's not a big need for y'all either.
Well, I don't think it is, but I think when we're looking at a quarterback that's already been in the league 9-10 years, we have no future behind it. I'm just saying that.
I want to bring up one last thing before we get off the tee, though, real quick, because Phil brought up an interesting topic on it.
Thank you, always do.
Tight end. So there's a possibility that we get the tight end from Notre Dame.
It's 2 of them. Yeah, it's 2 of them.
There's a very good possibility we get
Notre Dame and the one from Utah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, it's not just the one from Utah. It's the one from Georgia. Aaron Washington. Yeah. That's the one that's off the chart.
Monster. So, 6'7". That dude's a big boy.
So that's who I have the Saints taking in the first round.
Ooh, that'd be great.
If he falls to 29, I mean, he it's a potential that he will. It's either him or the one from Notre Dame, because tight end is a big need for us. I mean, we put Taysom Hill at tight end, which was dumb. Right? So,
man, if they get Washington, woof.
Yeah, so that would be awesome if we got him. But also, you know, we got a need at running back. Alvin is getting older. Alvin Kamara is getting older. And he's going to miss the first 6 games of the season because he's going to get suspended. He should have been suspended last season, but they pushed it off. Now it's going to happen this season.
Didn't y'all draft a running back a couple of years ago or last year?
No. Well, no, we didn't draft. I mean,
the kid from Tennessee or something like that. It was another kid from Tennessee at the track.
No, I mean, you're probably talking about somebody late that didn't make the team. I mean, we brought in some undrafted ones. I mean, they didn't make the team. But, you know, Ingram, he's probably done. It's probably his last year is probably gone. And Alvin Kamara, we are in need of a running back. And then we brought in Jamal Jones?
Jamal Williams,
Jamal Williams from Detroit. Yeah. So we got a solid running back in him, but we need some young talent in there. And no more.
You guys can get Bijan Robinson.
No running back in the 5th, 6th round that ain't gonna make the team. That's gonna be a special teams player.
You guys can get Bijan Robinson.
We could, but but that's what I'm saying. I think we could potentially get a running back in the 2nd round. I think first round has got to be a defensive lineman or tight end, and I think if Darren Washington is there, we should get him. Or if the kid from Notre Dame is there, we should get him. Michael May, if they're there, Mayer. We should get him.
And Dalton Kincaid from Utah.
But here's the thing about it. Here's what I think is going to happen. What I would want to happen is Darren Washington and then some running back in the 2nd round. But this is what's going to happen. This is the dumb thing that I know my Saints are going to do. They're going to get the 1st round pick right. They're going to get that tight end. 2nd round, maybe even 3rd round, Hendon Hooker is going to come to New Orleans, the Tennessee quarterback. I think he's coming to New Orleans.
Don't like that, Mick? You don't like that move?
I don't like it. Not because I don't think the kid is good or talented. He's older. He's like 27 or something like that. He's an older quarterback. And I don't want it. Not because he's not good. He's got to sit behind Derek Carr, who has 2-3 years on his contract. So by the time Hendon Hooker gets 30. An opportunity, he'll be 30.
Yeah, but I don't think Hendon Hooker's going to be in the 3rd round, 2nd round. He'll be gone.
Oh, no.
Early 2nd round.
That injury is going to set him back.
It's going to set him back, dude. He's going late 2nd or 3rd round. Maybe even 4th. Yeah. I mean, he had a severe knee injury.
I think he's going to be a steal due to the fact that he's going to be a little mature.
Right.
And he's not going to have all that mileage on him. So whatever you get out of him is going to be worthwhile if you develop him correctly.
Right.
The Ravens can draft him.
But the Saints have brought him in. He came in for a visit this week. So there seems to be some interest for him. And I apologize. He's 25. He's 25, but still, that's a pretty advanced age for a college quarterback.
Maybe another receiver.
Maybe another receiver. I mean, you can always use another receiver.
I don't know. Michael Thomas, I don't know whatever's going to happen with that.
We re-signed him. He's coming back.
Oh, okay.
He's coming back. Michael Thomas. We already got Chris Olave.
Is he going to actually play?
Yeah.
Is he? Yeah, right. Is he going to play? And then there was some other kid.
Every year, just don't play.
But like I said, you can always use another receiver. I just wouldn't use a first round draft pick on it. I would go second, third, maybe fourth or fifth round. You can find a diamond in the rough with the receivers. All you gotta do is find one of them dudes that run a 4.2 and just figure out a way to make them useful. So all right, well, Phil, what you got, man? We'll let Don go last because we know he's gonna talk about Lamar Jackson some kind of way.
I do think we pick at we pick at 24, so it would be nice to get a defensive tackle, a corner. We need a corner bad. We need a corner yesterday. I think they let Thielen go. It'd be nice to get a tight end. I'm not real. Hawkinson, he's cool, but I think we probably need a second tight end. I think we're not going to do that in the first round. We don't even have a second round pick, so we got to hit on our first round pick. So I think corner is in play, wide receiver is in play, defensive tackle. I think they're going to go really defensive heavy in the draft. They're talking about the kid from Maryland, Deontay Banks, which I think is a great move. I think he's going to be good. So we're going to see. I think they're going to go defensive heavy this year in the draft. We need to hit on this first round pick because we don't have a second round pick unless we make some trades. Hope maybe they'll trade down and try to get a second round pick, which is probably the better move, and then garner some picks that later on. So I'm thinking corner, defensive tackle, or even maybe a wide receiver here.
Wow.
Definitely defensive tackle.
I'm surprised he didn't mention quarterback. I thought you would be ready to replace Kirk Cousins now.
Well, I think we will draft the quarterback probably in the 4th or 5th round. I think that is in play. But I truly feel like if they have a bad year again, they're probably going to get a quarterback first round next year.
Okay. So, you think they'll be ready to move on from Kirk?
Yeah, they got to move on. They got to stop this.
I think they're gonna stay. I think they're gonna stay with Kurt, and I think that they're gonna solidify that wide receiver spot after y'all release Adams. Right now, I think y'all got a gaping hole. Nobody's gonna be sitting alongside Jefferson, and y'all need someone to be the proper number 2 guy. I think y'all gonna look at that guy from USC, Jordan Addison.
Jordan Addison,
yeah. I think
they like KJ Osborne.
Yeah,
they like KJ Osborne. I don't know. I think he's a slot receiver. I don't think he's a bona fide number 2. So if they don't draft a wide receiver in the first round, they might throw KJ Osborne out there at the number 2 spot to see.
But I think if you still want to make Kirk Cousins, be Kirk Cousins, I think you have 2 receivers and not have one just being pinged on the whole game. Because Jefferson, he's pretty good, but I don't think that he can handle that number 1 being every day. So if you can get a strong number 2 or young, little mountain lion coming out of the draft, I think that's what y'all probably do. And then later on in that draft pick, but it's 2 scenarios. I mean, since y'all did Adams, a lot of people talking about y'all might trade back in the draft and may try to get compensation, but whatever compensation it is, I think it's going to start at the wide receiver spot due to that gap that Adams created.
Yeah, I hope we do. I think priority should be defensive tackle. We got to shore about defensive line. That defensive line is not great at all.
Well, I tell you this, your division is going to be real tough this coming year.
Is it?
I don't think so.
Is it? We only got to work. Chicago is going to be in the dumpster fire, and the Packers are getting rid of it.
Chicago's going to be on fire. Watch
Chicago's going to be on fire.
Understand that. Chicago's going to be on fire, and here's
and Detroit.
And Detroit. I think Detroit is going to be good. Scary.
Yes,
Detroit is scary. I agree with that. That's the only team I'm afraid of is Detroit.
They scary on offense. Their defense is dreadful.
But I think they're going to improve that defense.
They made some moves in free agency on defense.
They got enough cap room to bust some moves.
They went out and got Darius Slay. They went out
and got play in Detroit. Who wants to go play in Detroit?
No, they made some moves in free agency.
Slay went back to the Eagles.
It's not who wants to play in Detroit. Who wants to get paid? They got cap room.
I think their defense is going to improve, but I think the Vikings should worry about the Lions and the Bears. I don't know what the hell is going to happen in Green Bay.
Those teams just have so many holes. They have so many holes to fill. I can't see them turning that around in 1 year. I know they got a lot of picks. They got a lot
I'm
of
sorry,
money.
C.J. Gardner-Johnson. They went out and got C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
Oh yeah, that's
Not
right.
Darius Slay. Yeah, yep.
And he knows the coaching staff because it's a former Saints coaching staff.
Mm-hmm.
So
and they got Cameron Sutton. They went out and got a safety in a corner. So I'm a little bit afraid.
I just think Detroit has built a lot of confidence towards the end of the season last year, and I think they're going to be pretty good this coming season. But I think
Chicago is going to be number 3 in the division. I just think
Chicago. Minnesota just can't stand pat because I think that the teams in the divisions are getting better. Like they got lucky last season with the Bears being as awful as they were, and then the Lions starting out pretty bad.
And they went 11-0 in close games. That's not happening again.
Who? The Vikings?
Minnesota. Yeah.
Yeah, I was picking against them every week. I was like, how many times they going to win these games by 1 and 3 points? They beat us in the final seconds.
I think Minnesota is an 8-win team. That's my early prediction right now for Minnesota. 8-win team.
8-9?
Yeah. 8-9.
In that division?
In that division. 8 wins.
Wow.
I think Detroit's going to be good. Detroit scares me a little bit. The thing with Detroit, I don't know which Jared Goff you're going to get. Is the book out on him yet?
I think Jared Goff, I think he get a bad rep. I think Jared Goff is actually pretty good, man.
I think he's decent. I actually think he get a bad rep too. I mean,
his deep ball is beautiful.
When he went to Super Bowl,
he
went to Super Bowl. You can't be all that bad if you took your team to the Super Bowl.
Right. You can't be that bad. Right.
Yeah, but he had a great coach on that team. It wasn't because of Jared Goff.
Well,
John McVay is a good coach.
Look, I saw Sean McVay without Stafford and those other quarterbacks. He is not a miracle worker. The quarterback has to have some kind of talent.
They just won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but when Stafford couldn't play this past season and he had to play with some backups, they look bad. He ain't a miracle worker. That's why I keep even Sean Payton. Sean Payton ain't a miracle worker. He cannot make Trevor Siemian into a great quarterback. He's not a miracle worker. The quarterback got to have some damn talent.
True that.
Yeah. So, hey, I don't care how great of an offensive genius you are.
Look at Shanahan.
What? But
Brock Purdy, Garoppolo. Come on now.
Yeah,
he's working miracles.
You know what? I'm ready to hear about Lamar Jackson because y'all gonna kill me with this Brock Purdy thing.
Did they not go to the NFC? Did they not go to the NFC Championship last year?
Yes.
Did they not? Okay.
Yes, they sure did.
They beat a non-scoring Dallas team. I mean,
come
that's
on,
your team. That's not the 49ers problem.
They got a dude named Debo on their team.
Okay, so you saying that them beating the Cowboys was a cupcake schedule with cupcakes?
No, I'm saying they got a lot of talent on it. Debo, they hand the ball off to him. They throw it to
Dallas
him.
Cupcakes.
I already explained to y'all last year they had a cupcake schedule. We went through that schedule. It was cupcakes.
Who, the Cowboys or the 49ers?
No, 49ers.
49ers? Are you serious?
Yeah, because the Cardinals were bad. The Rams were bad. Yeah. Seahawks is probably the best team in that division.
That was the second best team in the division.
The second best team because the Rams and the Cardinals were awful.
You take a 7th round quarterback to the playoffs like that. You ain't that's hard to do, man. That's hard to do.
I'm ready to hear about Lamar because man, y'all go to this Brock Purdy thing. They were talking this dude up like he was MVP and rookie of the year.
Rookie of the year. Yeah.
There's no way in hell this dude should have even been considered for it.
Not 4 games.
Not 4 games. Don, tell me about Lamar Jackson. I'm ready.
Okay.
Go.
All right, man. So I was just going to talk about the Ravens draft. I think the Ravens.
He'll find a way to put Lamar in some kind of way. Go ahead.
I mean, of course, it's all about. I mean, because right now it's all about the Ravens have to show their hand now.
Okay.
Either they make a deal with someone or they sign Lamar. So let's go in and say they still haven't signed Lamar. Now you have to say, what am I going to do? We have needs all over the field. I think one of the things that it's been plain to see and everybody's been beating us up over is that we have not done well at drafting a number 1 receiver or picking one as far as a veteran since Anquan Bolden and Steve. It's been a while since we had someone that could have that catch radius in order to help our quarterback out. I think the young kid coming, out of TCU is going to be a great addition. I think we got a new offensive coordinator, but it still stands to find out what are we going to do with Lamar. And we always pick well in the draft. I mean, best player available. I think the Ravens, without a doubt, has been the gem pickers of all gem pickers as far as scouting and the art of deception as far as letting people know which direction we're going to go in as far as drafting. So I'm not worried too much about the draft. So yes, you're right. We're going to talk about Lamar. And one of the big things that we talked about it
Oh
in a
God.
lot is that there's been only a couple of teams that said I'm going to, I'm interested. The Colts being one of them. And as Phil said earlier, and I totally agree, and I've been saying the same thing. The Colts are not going to give the Baltimore Ravens that top draft pick. They're going to pick whoever they're going to pick this year, and they're going to make an offer for Lamar. And guess what? I'll give you 24, 25. So that's not saying that the Ravens can't match. The Ravens can,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
but I don't think that they will.
Why not? They want the
'Cause
draft picks. They want the 24th and 25th draft pick.
Because it's not so much as is that you got to match the offer. That means that you're gonna have them, whatever the coach decide that they want to pay Lamar. You got to say, I'm willing to pay Lamar, and you can keep your draft picks. It's not that I don't want your draft picks. It doesn't work like that, Mark. It's I don't want your draft picks. I don't want your draft picks because I'm going to pay Lamar what you said you're going to
Yeah.
pay them.
Yeah,
So
Right, you have to
the
match
coach
it.
have to be willing to make it grossly painful the same way that the Cleveland Browns did with everybody. Like you just said, Marv, Cleveland came out of nowhere and made it grossly painful
Yep.
for anybody to stand in the room with them.
Well, we
And I think that's what it comes down to.
Well, Cleveland did that because they knew the Saints salary cap situation is in the dumpster, just as well as the Falcons. So neither one of us could compete with them. The Ravens don't have a salary cap problem.
Yes, but they have a pride problem. And I think right now, because if they didn't have a pride problem, Marvin, this be over right now. We be talking about really who are we going, because it's a pride thing, but it's also nobody wants to be the first. And right now, I don't think the Ravens have been doing well as far as representing themselves and saying, I'm willing to pay if the owners are not going to get mad at me. But the Colts have to be that one that says, I'm going to get out of character. I'm a billionaire. Bosses don't ask other bosses for permission.
So
They
what-
ask for
what-
forgiveness.
But
so
I
what
think
is your
Ask
mock
Jerry
draft?
Jones.
So what is your mock draft?
My mock draft is Phil, we paying
is
attention.
Lamar in the
Hey,
first
hey,
round, Lamar in the second round. That's his mock
Hey,
draft.
Dell, this is what I did with.
Give
What
some
did I just say?
positions.
I just told you. Hey, Phil, if I'm talking, you talking. Who
He
listen,
say
man?
he say he
Hit
don't
the mute
care
button,
with the
Marv.
draft. He say he don't care
Oh,
with the
thank
draft.
you.
okay.
Thank you. Hey,
That's
and
it.
unplug your ears, son.
I
I just said we do well in the
Phil.
draft
I asked
every
him.
year.
I asked him
Every
who they
year,
would
I don't
draft.
worry about the draft.
He-
Only
So
thing
did
I
the
worry
Saints.
about.
The Saints draft well in the draft too. He still gave some positions.
They're losing the organization. That's
No.
a different subject.
There you go.
It's a
Watch
different
your mouth.
subject.
Watch your mouth.
It's a different subject.
Watch
They've
your
been
mouth.
They've been riding Drew, and Drew is gone, and Sean is gone.
And
So
so will
the
Lamar.
love is gone.
And so will Lamar.
But as you said before, we're a winning organization.
I
We
didn't
just
say
have
that.
to act like it. Huh?
I never said that.
A couple of people agree with me. I ain't gonna call them out. But hey, but here's the thing. It's not so much as the draft, it's the Ravens. It's a chess match going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Ravens have to show their hand and say, if I still, just like right now, they did a tentative offer for OBJ right now too. So they're trying to show that they're trying to get solidified at that wide receiver position, and also they're trying to keep the hopes of saying there is some mending that can be done
Yeah,
with
absolutely.
Lamar. But I'm gonna tell you, if the Colts make it grossly painful for the Ravens to do that, I don't know if the Ravens can do it.
They really can't do that no more, right? Because they eliminated the poison pill in the last collective bargaining agreement. So you can't really do that no more. You can't do that.
And even if they did, they will be making it grossly painful for themselves as well. The Colts.
They have to honor it. Yeah.
They have to honor it.
Okay,
So-
and guess what? You honor making the playoffs, and you honor with your first draft pick. And guess what? I honor giving you late draft picks anyway. And guess what? And they do just like the Rams are doing. Did 2 years ago. Guess what? The Rams they pushed all the chips in the middle because right now the Colts are a pretty solid team outside of Detroit. Whereas though, if you add certain pieces, they're winning. They're going to the playoffs and they're going to do damage. Same thing with the Jets.
But like I told you, Don, I think the Ravens are asking other teams, hey, do our dirty work. If you can sign him to an offer sheet for whatever contract he's willing to agree to, we're just gonna match it. That's all. We told you we love him. We made him offers. He doesn't want it. He thinks he can get a fully guaranteed contract from someone else. Okay, go do it. Find somebody that's willing to give it to you. Bring it to us, and we're just gonna match it. They're just doing their dirty work. That's why nobody's giving them an offer, because nobody wants to do the Ravens' dirty work.
What if the Ravens drafted Hayden Hooker in the first round?
One, nobody's drafting Hayden Hooker in the first round. Not with a bad knee. Not coming off a bad knee. Nobody's drafting.
He's a runner. Right. But what Lamar needs is an agent. He needs to get himself an agent.
No, he doesn't need an agent. I don't need an agent. I disagree. Stop playing with me, man. Stop playing. Maybe you haven't been listening to the last couple of shows.
Agents are ruthless.
But not only ruthless, agents.
You don't think what Lamar just did was ruthless enough?
Hold on. Get the teams to compete.
Did you see what Lamar just did?
Did you see what Lamar just did? Right now.
Guess what? All contracts are not good contracts.
But Don, the agent would have pit teams against each other, because I think that's what happened with Deshaun Watson.
I'm gonna tell you what's happened.
Watson got the Browns in it. They went to the agent went to the Browns and said, "Hey, man, you saw what the
you don't think teams are against each other right now?
What the Saints are offering us?
Hey,
no, because Lamar doesn't have an agent. Because
Lamar doesn't have an agent. Tell you why teams are against each other? Because everybody's saying, man,
look,
I don't want to piss off the rest of these owners. Listen, it's just the only thing that Lamar's doing right now is he's not giving ESPN any leverage, and he's not, and the owner's going to have to come talk to me. But guess what? I don't need you as an agent to talk for me. Come talk to me.
Listen to me. So all these stories that you hear about this team offered and this behind the scenes stuff, all these the chatter that you always hear, with the ESPN people, the insiders are telling you, well, that's the agent leaking information. That's the agent playing their cards and trying to get their players leverage. You don't hear much chatter coming from the Lamar camp because they can't talk to any teams. The NFL has already put out a letter saying, if you're not a certified agent, you can't talk to these teams. And if you do, we're going to decline any trade for Lamar. So the fact that he has no agent, I think, is hurting his chances of getting.
No, it's not hurting his chances. He's going to get his money. So you think Lamar's not going to get his money?
I think you underestimate a little bit of having somebody full time all day, every day fighting for your contract.
So no,
as opposed to when he got time.
Right then and there.
Lamar don't have time to do it. He just don't. He not.
Why don't he have time? Listen, you have a marketing team. You can put a team of agents. Listen, you can put your team together. And listen, here's the part that this is the part that makes ownership. So the owners are pushing that false narrative, and also the agents are pushing that false narrative.
The NFL must be pushing it too.
No. Listen, no. See. Right now, I need you to open your ears, because you got two of them, and I need you to put the mute button.
Ears wide open, but my eyes are open too. I can read the letter from the NFL.
It doesn't matter what the NFL said. The thing that matters right now most is
what?
Listen, I'm not saying
what the NFL is saying.
Hey, Phil, I need you to use your 2 ears.
What?
Can I finish my sentence?
NFL's the place he works for.
Listen, it's not. Can I finish my sentence?
Only Don. It only matters what
once
Don
again.
says.
Hey, and that's why you got a B instead of an A, because you read half the paragraph. Let me finish my sentence. So it doesn't matter, because Lamar is not trying to go against the NFL in the way they do business. He's trying to say, I don't need an agent, because the agent is going to do something that's going to work, that's already doing itself. The owners need Lamar. You mean tell me, listen, there's not Lamar in the draft, and there's not him, that's not accounted for as a quarterback already. So those 2 jobs are already done itself. I don't need to market myself for a market that is wide open.
I
need to do that if I'm a defensive end If I'm a offensive end, guess what? Plenty of people negotiate their own contract. But if you are a top-notch quarterback, you don't have to sell yourself.
Don, that all makes sense, but he still ain't signed with nobody. He's still out there on a franchise deal, and nobody's made an offer for him.
Holding up signs, talk about I will work for this amount of money.
Yeah,
no. So look, let me think about it. Look at like
Dell. Listen, Dell, you should know this better than anybody because your guys got that. They had going. They had agents. No, Dell. They had agents, and guess what? It took a long time. So just because you have an agent does not shorten the process. It doesn't. It doesn't.
That got more than he originally was asking for because
he stayed strong. He stayed strong.
He had Jerry Jones in his back pocket.
Listen.
Agent, and that agent went and got him $10 million more a year than he was going to get with the previous agent. So it worked out. But I'm gonna tell you, go back to when Willis McGahee tore his knee up, right? This dude had his knee tore up in 3 different places, right? Because he had an agent, his agent sold him and he got picked in the first round. If he didn't have an agent, he would have never made it to the first round.
Lamar got
I got one better for you, Dell. And this one's recent. You know this. There's a guy that had 32 women accuse him of sexual abuse, sexual assault. 32 women.
Hey, and guess what? That helps me. I didn't get to market that.
Hang on.
Go ahead, keep talking.
Hang on. And
you want to lock yourself in the hole.
Then he didn't even play all of 2021. And somehow he got a fully guaranteed contract. $232 million, I think it was.
Yeah.
Fully guaranteed. Ridiculous contract.
All the more reason Lamar is going to get his money.
How possible? Never won an MVP. Never even won a playoff game.
He has gone farther than Lamar, though. I gotta admit that.
He has?
He went to the AFC Championship game.
No, he did.
Okay, yeah, he did. No, he didn't go to the AFC Championship game. And they lost to the Chiefs.
24-0.
They lost. That was in the first round.
That was in the first round. They lost to the Chiefs.
Hey, but we're gonna continue this conversation. Yeah. So, in all essence, I'm not going to say this. This is a long process because there's an added element of disagreement with the ownership, and then we already talked about the contracts. We already talked about
escrow.
The escrow and everything. So yes,
if the process is so hard, why isn't this happening for Patrick Mahomes? Why isn't this happening for Daniel Jones? Why isn't this happening for Justin Herbert? Why isn't this happening for Trevor Lawrence? Why isn't this happening for Joe Burrow?
Then say it.
They all got agents.
No, hell no, ain't got nothing to do with that. You got to be.
They all got agents.
Voice of reason. If you're not going to say it, then don't bring it up.
Why
you're not going to say it, then don't bring it up.
Why
are they having these issues with getting paid?
What's the reason? If you're not going to say it, don't bring it up.
I don't care what the reason
is. I ain't going to do it
for
you. But if you ain't going to say it, don't bring it up.
There's a dude that had 32 accusers. 32 accusers. And somehow got a fully guaranteed contract with Cleveland.
Hey, Ma.
And somehow
finish your thought.
I'm trying to finish you. If you let me. Lamar, unanimous MVP.
No, stop.
Playoff winner.
Finish pulling the thread. Finish pulling the thread with the Cleveland. What did the owner say? What did the owner say?
Somehow Lamar can't get the deal he wants.
He got fully guaranteed money, Don.
What did the owner say? Hold on. Can you tell me what the owner said? Because y'all two keep glossing over it. The owner said one thing.
Came out and
said that
want
him.
No, he want him. Yes, he did come out and say that.
Hold on. And the owner said he's a billionaire. When a billionaire says, go get me that, guess what you do with his GM? You go get that. Stop playing with me.
You need to stop making up stuff. So listen.
Hold on. Did he say that, Phil? Did he say that? The answer is yes.
He said that after the Falcons, after the Saints, after the Panthers,
Miami,
after all of these teams were looking at him, and
we'll get ready.
Hang on,
because Miami had a deal for him. Miami had a deal for him.
Listen. Put you clowns on mute. Look, these 4 teams were interested in him. They were ready to make a move, and somehow, some way, Cleveland got word, and Cleveland's owner all of a sudden was convinced, I want him. How did that happen? Who
The
the hell
owner
convinced
said it,
him?
not the agent.
Who convinced him?
Thank you. It
Who
was the
convinced him?
owner said I wanted him.
So he was just sitting there
The
and he was
owner
like,
said, hold on. The
he was
owner
sitting
said I
there.
wanted him. It had nothing to do with the agent.
It
The
had nothing to
owner
do with
said
the
I
agent.
wanted
So
him.
wait a minute, Don. You
Stop
don't
playing
think
with
the
me, man.
owner? So
Stop
you don't
playing with
think
me.
So
you don't think the owner went to Deshaun Watson's agent and said, "What would it take to get you here to Cleveland? What contract? How much money do we have to give you that Miami is giving you?"
Or Phil, did the agent go to Cleveland and say, "Hey, Deshaun Watson is available. I'm sure he can turn around this Cleveland franchise for you."
There's a lot of
I think
there's a lot of pet detectives.
Marv, I think there was a deal on the table
Phil.
for Miami, and Cleveland got a hold of it.
Nope.
And said, "I want Deshaun Watson." Negotiated with his agent and said, "How much do we got to pay you to get you to Cleveland?"
Listen to me. Those agents are salesmen. They
I agree.
They go out and look for the deals.
Yes.
They are convincing.
Big
You don't think they got? You don't.
bank.
So
That's
wait a minute.
all
You
that
don't
was.
think?
It had
You
nothing
don't
to
think
do
he had a
with it.
deal already on the table, Mark?
Listen to this. Listen to this for Lamar.
It was big bank to little bank.
Listen to this. Lamar has business partners reaching out to the Patriots and to the Falcons to try to talk. That's why the NFL had to put out a letter telling teams,
I'm glad we are recording this, Del.
do not talk to these non-union representatives.
Yeah,
they have to tell them
true.
that.
That's true.
Because that's what agents do. They go out and they sell their players. They go out and they sell their.
Why? I'm trying. Don hasn't really, and I've been asking this question for 3 weeks. Why don't you think Lamar needs an agent?
Question.
Why doesn't Lamar need an agent? I don't. You haven't answered that question. Why doesn't Lamar? Why does Lamar not need an agent?
He's trying to save 6%.
Say it again.
He's trying to save 6%.
No, he ain't trying to save 6%, Del. Hey, Del, I'm gonna roast you for that.
He mentioned it though.
Roast you. Hey, listen. It has nothing to do with that. One thing what it has to do with.
You know what? We gonna end it on that, yo.
Yeah. I'm gonna get you for that, Del. Hey, Del, I'm gonna get you for that. I'm gonna remember you.
That was classic. Yo, we gonna hit it on that, Del.
Put this on my computer. Get Del.
And look, just for accuracy's sake, that game when he lost to the Chiefs was divisional player round. So it was the game before the AFC Championship game. So just to let y'all know, he was past the
okay. Yeah. Lamar has been there too, hasn't he? Lamar has been there too, hasn't he?
Man, look, that's a wrap, yo. That's a wrap. We're gonna go around and around in a circle on this Lamar Jackson discussion that's been going on for the past 3 weeks. I just want to do the sign with some damn body so we can stop talking about it.
Maybe go to the XFL.
Yeah, just play so we can stop talking about it, man. Look,
that's what we doing. Disrespect.
Listeners, appreciate y'all, man. We do this thing every week. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.